Bethesda just released a 9-minute deep dive video all about Shattered Space, but we noticed that there are some things that might have gone under the radar. Joining me today is Dwayne from the Starfield with Normal People podcast. How are you doing, Dwayne?
So good. Wow, this is a really exciting deep dive, which was totally unexpected.
We're only 2 weeks away from Shattered Space. I want to say right off the bat, we have been wondering for months if this was going to be just a singular planet. There's at least 2 moons here, right?
Yes, it seems to be an entire system that's explorable. The majority of the quests are going to keep you right on Varun Kai, but you are free to leave at any time, they also said.
Side quests could take you to these other planets.
Mm-hmm.
I also noticed right here down at the bottom middle below the windmills, there's like a person standing there and there's a person crouching.
Oh, good eye. I didn't even see them. Tim Lamb's name, if you try to say it 3 times fast, it's kind of a tongue twister. Tim Lamb, Tim Lamb.
It actually is difficult. I'm wondering about this building on the left here. It's all sort of like clear, so I can't tell if that's just a skeleton of a building or if that's glass.
The population is dealing with the direct aftermath of this cataclysmic event.
Yeah.
So it could be someone rebuilding. It also could be, this is just out of the blue, but it could be a gladiator style arena.
My mind went to greenhouse for planting plants. Maybe it's a greenhouse where gladiators fight. And they kind of flex a little bit on the things that they've added.
Right.
Like the bounties and the...
You're right, though. They did flex on the Rev 8, though. They wanted to say, we just had this big win. Remember? We just had this big win. So.
Yeah. Remember how good you felt when you saw that first look at the Rev 8? This shot of the programmer, the developer kind of, looking in dev mode at what I believe to be Dazra. Is it just me, or is this the largest this city has looked so far?
And it looks to be the size of New Atlantis, roughly. I mean, at least the main section of New Atlantis.
I feel like they've done something really clever here by making a quote-unquote big city, but partially destroyed. So it spreads it out. Past, we have noticed this weird laser weapon. Mm-hmm. We don't know what that's for yet. I don't think we've seen this particular statue before. This is going to be the station. What we all think is that this is going to be a gateway to getting to that Varun home system.
It is serving as a doorway, both in story and, like, as we're speculating, probably the literal doorway to get from the actual game into this expansion.
This shot's interesting. I like this shot because the building, this is definitely not Dazra. This is not the city. One thing I'm noticing is that there's no anomalies here. A house of someone sort of off the grid, and they appear to be safe from that stuff. This is definitely interesting, this little area. Mm-hmm. And the voiceover talks about arising as basically a member of House Varun.
The thing about this shot and the snake right before it is they're showcasing that house's unique architecture. I think each of the factions or the houses have a very unique look to them.
There is nothing to fear.
Whoa.
Okay, this is one of the reasons. Yeah, this is one of the reasons I wanted to do this video. This is what's interesting. These are like statues, and it looks like that doorway, but look at what looks like candles. Mm-hmm. So are these like really tiny?
Yeah, like almost chess pieces.
Either that or these are gigantic candles. So it's one of the two.
You can make a big candle. So are these the 4 houses that we're seeing?
Oh.
A representative of each house?
It could.
More candles, though.
Candles. Lots of candles. We get a really quick shot of this. Remember this, Dwayne?
I do.
From the first trailer?
Yep.
We're learning a lot, but we still have no idea what is going on with this.
Mm-hmm.
You will rise as Varun.
This is new. With the Rev 8 and walking up on the Vista, seeing kind of the entire new area.
This looks really great, and this is actually the biggest this area has looked to me. That's a massive ship, if that's a ship.
That is a massive ship. Mm-hmm.
That is really crazy huge. You can see 3 different POIs in this expansive look at the land.
Seen from our past expansions.
I will say in this quick shot, that's definitely a new outfit, or at least one I've never seen that this character's wearing.
Mystery to House Faroon.
Yeah, there's all the pockets, and yeah, it seems like people that went missing become these glowing people. So much to learn.
I wonder if there could be like a Starborn versus glowing people war down the road.
We are getting more looks at that same sort of gateway that we saw before. I'm trying to see those little statues, but I don't see them here. So yeah, I wonder. I bet we'll have to like collect those 4 mini statues.
Do the quests in each house, get the little statue, bring it to that gate, probably to get to the citadel that's locked behind that weird gravitational anomaly.
There you go. I think we're putting it together. This seal on the floor on the ground here says all must serve.
Yeah, it's cool. It kind of has an old, almost Roman style look to it.
You're free to leave at any time, but the story is fully...
This is one of the more like just general civilized areas, you know, because it's such an alien world, but they've got a little wet floor sign over on the left, so it like, you know, it's starting to sort of humanize the Varun. That's a different anomaly going on in this cave.
It's a beautiful cave. I mean, you've got this bright feature in the distance.
I love how they're fully leaning into driving the Rev 8 in this new DLC. Okay, we saw a glimpse of these structures in past videos. Like you said, like each faction has its own look.
And any good game design or architectural design is going to reflect the personality of that house. So we see brutalism, essentially.
Vindicator. Harbinger.
This looks like a totally new spacesuit to me, and it looks awesome. Also, this is kind of a first glance at they have their own like Aurora Borealis that looks very cool. This is our first little view of the actual church. Little meeting area.
Yeah. See the pews
they have outside.
Little known fact is it wasn't a gravitational anomaly that destroyed the world. It was just too many candles were burning, and it ended up burning down the whole civilization.
The fire marshal comes in, and he's like, well, I see the problem. This is sort of like an altered symbol. So now I'm thinking every little House Varun faction is going to have like an altered version of the symbol.
A variation of that. Is it me, or does this kind of, the symbol looks almost like a solar eclipse or like a planet being impacted by something, an explosion off the side of it? Oh, here comes the gory stuff.
They're leaning into horror for this. Promised. Oh, right there I can see this game's gonna have some beautiful sunsets. This does show, okay, they're not all just religion. They're scientists as well.
It's a very extreme pursuit, and it has backfired horribly for the people.
Science gone wrong.
My brother Qasim has been missing for days. I'm beginning to worry that something terrible has happened to him.
I'm gonna go ahead and say something terrible probably did happen to him.
Yeah. Straight up gameplay here.
And they kind of showcase the scariness of the expansion. I mean, you have the lights out.
They have the flashlight flickering. I'm pretty sure they never did that before. So that's great. It's a great touch.
Classic horror. What's wrong with this thing?
We can see this guy has a blade that's like on his arm. It looks like it kind of retracts.
Right.
And then he's holding a sword in the other hand. This definitely looks like a brand new Varun sword.
This expansion, there's a lot more up close and personal combat.
So this is where they talk about the grav drive experiment that goes wrong.
By the way, I love the rods being like lowered into the chambers. Has a very nuclear science-esque like feel to it. So this kind of idea that this fictional science is based within a science that we know in real life is cool.
Oh, some of these buildings didn't make it. So we arrive, he says, a few weeks after the Vortex incident is what they're calling it. So it looks like here they are giving rations out to people.
There's a massive crater in their city. Nothing has been reconstructed. People are still searching for missing loved ones.
Look at that symbol on the left. We've got the Varun symbol with like a little corporate entity popped
Right.
onto it. Mm-hmm. Ooh, a lot of these people have tattoos.
I was just going to say there's a lot of tattoos in this faction.
Is now trapped within a strange field of energy. Among those missing is Anasco Varun.
Anasco Varun is the leader that has gone missing.
He's like, a lot of people are missing. And I'm like, well, I mean, a lot of them showed up as red on my scanner. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if those two things are related, but...
Vying for control over the faction's future.
Very cool statues, architecture in these worlds.
Yeah, there's a lot of curvy, organic-looking statues or art pieces.
A seat at the High Council.
This is incredible. Just in this shot, we've got the walkways down the bottom, this like cave system, extremely tall mountain, like so tall I don't think you can even boost pack up. And then...
Yeah, there's no way you could boost pack up that.
No, and at the top there's like another walkway, a whole place where people are living, working. I don't think we've seen this kind of verticality.
Right, I like how they're embracing the like you said, verticality of this world.
You know, I saw a post talking about how in Skyrim you can see the College of Winterhold from the City of Solitude, and seeing that altar on the mountain in the background. This makes me realize, wow, they made the right decision doing one big handcrafted area, because just the sense of scale and like familiarity you have, like seeing all these locations you can go to in the distance.
It's going to be a fun first couple months for me. This is going to take me a while to get through this new content.
All right, we get some gameplay here. So we get more of that melee class running at the player. That's a new statue. Haven't seen that before.
All must serve.
All must
Very ominous.
serve.
I'm not much of a serving guy. I'm more like a do my own thing guy. So
It's going to be really interesting to see the dialogue options in this game, because there's definitely there's always like that really sarcastic response, and these people take themselves very seriously. It's going to be interesting to see. This definitely, we've seen the glowing people, but this definitely looks like glowing attackers.
yes, like a soldier. Whoa,
Some
red
sort
lightning.
of lightning, red lightning anomaly. I'm wondering if they're going to have crazy storms.
Yeah, classic Fallout where you're outside and you're starting to get like a radiation storm. You gotta like find shelter.
These new creatures, the Vortex Horror. Oh, we got the player holding the new sword. And a very clear, beautiful look at their Aurora Borealis style sky.
High and Dazra City are like no other location in the base game.
These are definitely the different factions. Everything looks very different.
From its inception, House Varun has been driven by a singular, unique vision.
Boy, I really think the lighting, the environment, the effects are really on a whole different level in the expansion.
Gravity anomalies.
This is showcasing like moving through the gravitational anomalies, and someone in our Discord actually this morning pointed out, they said it was similar to one of the Zelda games for getting around. And I found that interesting. I haven't played it myself, so anyone watching, you might connect with that.
Well, Nintendo is so good at giving the player creative ways to move around their worlds, whether it be like a glider or some kind of air bubble that like gets you somewhere. That's what's cool about these gravitational anomalies is creating a reason for the player to go explore. So you might see a group of these anomalies and think, well, maybe I can jetpack from this one to that one. And of course the designers are leading you to a place at the top of the mountain or something like that, right? It's like Superman on N64. Probably one of the world's worst video games. It's definitely in the top 5, but you have to fly around through these rings It's an unfinished
So,
game,
yeah.
but somehow got released even though it was unfinished. But
I found this interesting. This is the first time we saw, like, we've seen people praying like this in a spot like this in the past, but now they're like glowing and then they disappear.
they were taken.
Don't know what's happening. And then, of course, this was the first time they actually confirm that this planet, this location, is in a new system. It's called the Kavnik system. They definitely cropped this image in the trailer. Are they hiding something about the planet's information from us?
That's right. Kavnik's system is an entirely new system. It's not a system that we've
It's a
seen on the map or anything that we just couldn't get
That's
to.
right.
Or okay. I mean, I'm ultimately curious about what or who is the Great Serpent. I mean, that entity itself. First of all, what would it look like?
It really makes me wonder if we are going to get a full reveal. Are we going to fully understand exactly what happened to start this whole movement? Or are they going to sort of leave it a mystery? I mean, we've got to learn something. That is a freaky looking creature on the ground there.
Kind of some Geiger-looking design on that one. Very alien-esque.
It's a dangerous planet, and a lot of the people have retreated to Dazra in order to survive.
I love this shot of the Rev 8 driving, and then we see those awesome creatures in the background.
I think they'll have... if you go,
Chunks!
Is this a Chunks? It is a Chunks location.
Look, that's a Chunks. The sign is bent so that you can barely see it. Bam!
Part of the hunks
excited.
part was blown off. But I was going to say, I wonder if they designed some of the terrain to be more friendly for driving the Rev 8 around. So like we saw this little section that looked like a sand dune jump.
That's true, because a lot of the land that I've been driving around has tons of rocks. Obviously, there's tons of rocks here too, but there's big stretches of sand that are clear. So
Is that after they ate it, Chunks?
that's
She's holding her stomach, so it must have been.
she's like, oh my God. My friend told me not to eat it, Chunks. I should have listened. So they confirm here that spacers and pirates are going to be moving in and taking advantage. That is a very different looking area.
We don't know what that is. Some of it lights up.
No. These creatures look, they remind me of those horrible rock creatures in Sarah's companion quest.
The line between reality and the vortex.
The vortex horror. The way they just pop in and attack, that's going to jump scare a lot of people.
There's no standing around when you're in a POI. You're not safe at any time.
Honestly, terrifying ambush scenarios.
In the base game, there's a lot of focus around...
I love that, like, some of these shots were getting some slightly different color schemes, right? To the environments.
Space is...
Oh, there's a look at one of the new grenades you can make.
What does it do? It almost like sucks it in.
The new achievements confirm there's going to be 5 different types of grenades you can build.
Look, pause it on that guy. He almost looks like a raider. Like he has that kind of raider bear skin. Is he augmented?
Whoa! Look at that. He's still bleeding from the pieces that are, like, embedded in his skin.
That armor is attached. Yeah.
That is crazy. This really reminds me of what you're saying, like it's a mix between the Raiders, and it also reminds me of some of the stuff going on in Cyberpunk with the augmentations.
Space is scary.
This is a very interesting, this is like a tree that's been overcome with that alien material.
It's amping up the aggression and the chaos of combat.
Right, this is where we get the look where they say, okay, this weapon isn't, it's not hacking it. He pulls out a Gatling gun.
Nice.
Another one of those grenades. Some floaters. More shots of the city.
As you explore the city of Dazra and the surrounding planet, you'll learn the truth.
We got some people floating in there.
Yeah. I think this is the
They're
second
glowing
time
and floating.
we've seen people frozen in time during the event. Because remember earlier you come upon a scene where you see 3 people. Clearly, this building was hit at the moment of impact, and they're kind of frozen in that instance.
I think you're right. I think we're gonna like learn what happened through these little like weird memories. Man, they're talking about this feud between the factions, so it does make me think these people killed these other people.
It almost looks like a sacrifice.
Yep. And of course, this is where they confirm that the player is going to choose sort of the fate of House Varun. I think we'll just basically choose which faction we like the most.
They had said they had about 250 staff working on the game right when it first was released. They said there's that many people still working on the game. And then I remember there was a point after it got released that some in the community were saying there's no way they have this many people working on the game. We're just not seeing anything. But now that we see what Shattered Space is, I can see where all those people were working. Like I can see the results of a year's worth of work or longer. Yeah, knowing that the gameplay is in a great spot, the Rev 8, moving around a planet is in a good space. I'm really anticipating this expansion.
Yeah, Bethesda's expansions to me always feel like they could almost be like sort of a mini sequel. It's like it's really, they give you huge worlds, a new story. Like they've always done that. Fallout expansions and Skyrim expansions definitely feel like mini sequels.
Oh, there's that weapon firing.
Boy, they are teasing that weapon. What does it do? Yeah, there's still quite a few secrets to this DLC. Well, thanks for watching this breakdown. Dwayne and I actually have a podcast called Starfield with Normal People that you can check out. We actually release that every 2 weeks, or if there's lots of news, every week.
Yeah, and come hang out in our Discord if you love talking about Starfield, if you love the game and want to hang out with like-minded individuals. And also come build a ship or show off your spacesuit or do our Starfield Adventure Club. All these things available in our Discord.
Well, we love talking about Starfield, so if you like the game as well, definitely like and subscribe and all of that good stuff because we've got more content on the way.